Today I'm going to be looking at this rotary cutter tool, since I think it's a tool that you kind of just want to own if you've never had one before. And it's hard for me to find new tools that I don't already own or haven't seen before, and this one turns out to be pretty useful. So it's the tool that you never knew that you needed. So I'm not doing a full review today, but just suffice to say that if I wanted to cut this with scissors, I could. Or I wanted to use my utility knife to cut this, I could. Now, I know I'm making this look a little needlessly hard, but it's not ideal. I wouldn't use an X-Acto knife, but I would use this rotary cutter to make light work of cutting cardboard. The one that I bought here is made by Harbor Freight, and it actually seems pretty decent. And there's a bunch of different manufacturers of rotary cutters. So I'm not recommending Harbor Freight. It just happens to be priced around $40. It was cheap, it was in stock, and surprisingly enough, top brands like Milwaukee and DeWalt don't appear to make rotary cutters quite yet. And if you want a swappable battery, Ryobi is making one for about $60 US. So for me, getting another battery brand means more batteries to maintain, and a whole other battery system with a whole bunch of other chargers. And it was all for one device. So for this one, having an internal battery made for dirt cheap totally makes sense. And this tool is the battery, right? I mean, it's the battery and the tool, but if the battery dies, the tool goes with it. I don't think it's replaceable, nor am I going to try. But, you know, it's $40, which is cheaper than a lot of the other brands' batteries to begin with. So that's pretty good. So let's cut to the chase. So how well does this work at following a straight line? And how well does it work at following a curve? Let's go find out. Oh, and before I forget, this is a cutting tool. This blade here is wicked sharp, wicked sharp. And always keep your hands away from the blade, especially the hand holding the stuff. It would be very easy to get in here and get your thumb cut, even though they have a guard. You could still get your thumb cut in there. It will fit in here. I'm not going to cut my finger off while doing a video, but just know that these are wicked sharp and wicked dangerous. And if I did cut myself, I'd probably be going to the hospital with finger bits. So just keep that in mind and always follow the manufacturer directions. So first off, I'm just going to see how well I can follow the guide here and see if I can follow a line. This thing actually sort of wants to take off on its own, but honestly, it sort of pulls itself through the cut. I think that's what's making it so fast. So you can kind of see here, it's not wicked precise. You can kind of see the line. I mean, I didn't try really hard either, but it's not going to be as precise as holding a ruler up to something. I think you could put a ruler or a guide on there to help you cut like this. And that might make a straighter cut. I'm going to go ahead and try that right now. See how close. Yeah, okay. You'd have to jack that down onto it. And then the next question is this. Can I follow a squiggly line with this? And the answer is sort of. It's a little hard to manage. Try not to cut myself here. Nope. You can do an outer radius, but you can't seem to get it to turn on the inside. So the answer to that would be a fail. So that is not what this is meant for. So for me, this primarily is good for cutting cardboard, and lots of it, if I'm just rough cutting it. So if I want to cut it to shape, I can do that. I can trim a little off. Great if I'm making templates. Not great if I'm following lines that are straight. Pretty much it's a straight cutter, but not a crazy accurate straight cutter either. So just keep that in mind. But what I like to do is I actually like to take these large cardboard boxes that I get, not this one, but the super large ones, and then just slice them up into things that I can use for under the car. Now this is a little smaller than the boxes I'm used to cutting, but it makes easy work of cutting large chunks of cardboard very quickly. So if I was cutting a piece of cardboard to fit inside a windowsill or something else, and I didn't really need it to be crazy precise, I'd just take this cutter out and do it. And here's some what I call full frustration packaging, right? I mean, you can cut it open with the blades. I always find like I'm always worried I'm going to cut myself. You can scissor it out. So the question is, with this crazy big guard design, can I open one of these? Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Full frustration packaging with your rotary cutter. That's awesome. So I suspect this would work pretty well on vinyl type flooring, but I don't actually know. So just let me know in the comments if you tried it with other products like carpet, vinyl, etc. Whatever you've been able to get through the rotary cutter, that would be helpful for me to know and everybody else so that we can learn. And on the tool itself, there's a trigger on the top. So just a standard trigger. There's actually no safety. Is there a safety? Oh, there is. Okay. Yeah, so I was wondering with this, I thought that was a comfort grip. If you see that bottom flex when I hold it, that's actually the safety. And when you pull that in, it'll run. If you don't have it pulled in, you can't start it. So if I push it in, and it seems to lock, which I find interesting too, until I release the safety. So just something to know about in terms of the ergonomics of the handle. What else? The other thing to note about this one, again, this isn't meant to be a full review, is there is actually no blade stop. A lot of tools have a little divot that you can push to lock the blade in place when you're trying to unscrew it. So I guess you put some pliers in there and hold the blade in place in order to change it. Somebody's done that themselves. Let me know in the comments. I don't see any place for an Allen wrench or anything else to lock the blade. Blades are a common size, so I don't know if Harbor Freight sells extra blades. I think it shipped with an extra blade when I bought it, but these blades are wicked durable, and I haven't had to, in many yards of cardboard, have I had to replace the blade at all. But if you do, you can just buy them online at Amazon apparently, and they're pretty dirt cheap as well. So if you're going through a lot and you need the sharpness, you can do that. No idea on how to change the blade yet. Lost the directions too. So we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So let me see, I already went over this blade guard here, that it does have a guard. And sometimes your cardboard gets hung up on this guard a little bit, but I'm sure it's there to protect you, but it will fit a finger. So at least a fingertip. And in terms of charging, it has its own internal battery. So it takes a micro USB adapter to charge it. So this is one thing I don't like about it. It's hard to tell since these are up, they have an up and down to them. I never know which way to put the adapter. It is not straight in, comes in at a little angle. The LED, if you can see that, glows red to indicate it's charging, and when it's fully charged, turns green. So that's kind of nice. Again, $40 tool with a battery, so I just figure it's completely disposable. And it's almost disposable enough that when this blade goes, because it seems to be lasting a really long time, then I might ditch it at that point. It is a relatively slow charge. So if you worked in a shipping department and you were cutting cardboard for picture frames and stuff all day long, this might not be able to keep up with it. So you might look at the Ryobi that has replaceable batteries, and maybe the Ryobi has an easier way to change the blade too. So you kind of look at it as a system. But for the casual use, where you're just ripping through a lot of cardboard, I give this one a complete thumbs up. It's a lot of fun, and it's a tool that you didn't know that you had. So let's just go take a look at a little bit of the cardboard in my garage. Just give you a quick look at what I mean when I'm cutting large chunks, and we'll go from there. Oh, and I wonder, some tools aren't usable while they're charging, so let's just kind of rule that one out too. Let's see if I can get on there. Yep. So if you were in a shipping department, you're like, oh, I'll just leave it on the charger when I use it. No bueno. Does not go. You have to actually have it out of the charger for it to start running. So, but completely awesome. Rips through cardboard like it was butter. Takes care of full frustration packaging, even in the little nooks and crannies. Just like that. So, wow. Less frustration packaging now. So I'm going to just kind of switch to another view here and show you what I mean when I'm making large chunks of cardboard for the garage. I usually end up with these huge boxes that get shipped to me. And honestly, I like, I could just stomp them down, throw them in the car, and bring them to my recycling center. But what I like to do is I like to use these big pieces for working under the car. They're great because when you're done, you just throw it away regardless of what you spilled on it. So we just take the rotary cutter and we turn the box into the shape that I want. That's literally it. So I never knew I wanted a rotary cutter until I got one. Throw the pieces out, and voila, I've got a big piece of cardboard that I can just lay on the floor for whatever project I want. Yeah, 30 seconds. I've given myself 2 flats here. And so if I were changing the oil to my car, I'd A, not be laying in the cement, and B, any drips would be just caught on my cardboard there. So pretty awesome. Get yourself a rotary cutter, and it'll be one of those tools you never knew that you actually needed or wanted until you get it.